I just hope that he makes it Saturday or Friday.
Yeah.
That's the biggest thing I'm hoping for. I'm waiting on Instagram to come up so I can go live on Instagram.
I haven't seen Ryan in probably 2 years.
Yeah, he said that that you guys did a lot of stuff together, like when you were getting started with Rev and everything. You know, he was helping out with your AC business or whatever.
Yeah, I was living in Greenville, and I'd leave out on the road. He would take care of my stuff for me while I was gone.
Dude, I'm telling you right now, Ryan is one of the best people on the planet.
Oh yeah, salt of the earth, man.
Yeah, super good dude. And he'll probably I still send him an invite even though he doesn't feel good. He probably won't be able to handle it and he'll jump on.
Yeah.
Dude, I've been okay, so I'm not gonna lie. I'll be dead honest with you. I was jamming y'all's stuff yesterday and today. And then once you and I talked on the phone, I was like, man, I've been listening to Rev all day now. Like it just got me in that mood. I don't know why, but it just got me in the mood to listen. So it was cool.
Hell yeah.
And so I called Ryan. My wife and I went to lunch right after we got off the phone. And I called Ryan. I was like, hey, man, how are you going to not tell me about that part? And he goes, I did tell you, fucker. And I was like, well,
why didn't you tell me again? Because you know it didn't sink in.
I was like, well, there's a lot going on right now, so there's a good chance that you did tell me.
Well, and it's funny though because I was sitting in a parking lot up underneath a little school bus. Okay, because that's what I do for a living.
That's not creepy.
Yeah, right. So I'm sitting in this parking lot. He's like, "Hey, Jimmy." I go, "What's up?" He goes, "So there's a little minor detail that he didn't tell. We didn't know." And I go, "What?" He's like, "Dude, he's the drummer." And I'm like, "No, you're lying." And I'm like, "But hey,
Ryan's on here."
I'm like, I can't really sit here and cuss. I'm at a daycare with kids running around. Like, I gotta go.
So, Ryan, I just was telling the internet that you were right once again about you did tell me that Jonathan was a drummer for Rev. My bad.
That's not what you said a few minutes ago.
Okay,
I'm just joking.
He was probably on.
It was before he saw it.
Yeah, well, there's 5 people. That's So Jonathan, what's weird with our shows, and we don't know why. I guess algorithms being what they are, like the active live viewers never is really all that high.
Yeah.
But dude, by like midnight, it'll reach like 40,000 people.
Yeah.
Cool. Rad.
So whatever. We were hoping to be streaming. We were hoping to be cross-posting to both the Silver Saloon's pages by tonight, but they're busy getting things ready and they didn't get a chance to add me as an admin to where I could cross-post. So
yeah,
it's coming along with some badass announcements that I don't know if I'm going to say tonight or wait till Friday.
Oh, wait till Friday, man. Let's wait. I want the anticipation. It's like Christmas.
So I would wait till Friday. Only problem is a lot of these people can't come Friday.
Oh yeah, copy.
You know what I mean? And I want to I want everybody to have ample opportunity to be where they need to be on Tuesday. So, well, dude, I say we're gonna go ahead and start a podcast real quick, and we'll. No, we're not because I didn't load the sound effects again, Jimmy.
Oh, so everybody's gonna go.
Yeah, don't give up on us yet, dude. I forgot to load some sound effects. Give me just a minute.
All right.
I'm really getting bad about this. Okay. I'm back now.
All right.
Sorry about that, dude. Hey, can you see the comments?
I don't know that I see any comments. I see like something about the boot company at the bottom streaming, and then I see you're in the show. Everyone can see you and hear you.
Yeah, so Jimmy can tell you how to get where you can read the comments in case you see somebody say something that you want to address. Jimmy,
okay.
How
does he get to the comments?
Are you on a phone or laptop?
Phone.
on a phone.
chat?
Okay, yeah. So down below it says chat, and it should pop up, and then it'll say like private chat, and then comments. Click comments, and it'll kind of we'll all be in the background, and you can see all the comments, but you can't like flip back and forth to where you can see both.
Gotcha.
But you can still see the screens.
You can kind of faintly see behind.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
that sucks.
Yeah, it's kind of like what do they call it? Opaque or
Opaque.
yeah.
Yeah. Well, and if you don't want to, when we can read the comments, I always get everybody to do it in case they see something that we don't see.
Cool. Maybe I'll go back and forth while we're going here.
You do whatever you want, man. All right, now I really am going to start a podcast. So here we go. Record.
Here we go.
Holy crap, that's loud.
That is loud.
My bad. I don't know how to intro this one, Jimmy, because, well, it's probably going to end up on both shows.
Yeah, it's okay.
So we're going to go with the OG. We don't care if you're here because you want to be here, or if you lost a bet with one of your buddies.
You did.
We're just glad you're here, mother truckers.
Yeah, for now.
You're listening to both the okayest show on the internet and the better than okayest show on the internet.
Wow.
The Hometown High Rider podcast and HHR Unplugged.
Unplugged.
That's really, really confusing, but one of these days we'll get it squared away so that we can tell you about everything.
Oh, yeah.
All at one time, maybe.
Maybe.
That's a damn lie.
Yeah.
Anyway, sorry, Big Mama had to step into that one. We got another pretty cool episode tonight. And it just keeps getting cooler and cooler like an onion. Just layers peeling back.
Yeah.
Jimmy is here and me. And other than that, we are cashless.
We are.
For now. Mego has got the flu.
Yeah.
Ooh.
And Tanner had a sprinkler head bust at work.
Ooh.
So
Is that like Grimacucci?
No, not his sprinkler head.
Oh, my bad.
So I'm going to tell y'all right now, because I got a feeling our guest tonight is a pretty laid back, cool cat, and probably has seen and heard a lot. So I have a feeling how we always tell everybody on Unplugged, we're going to set the bar. We're going to let them set the bar.
Mm-hmm.
Look, man, I feel like the bar is already set.
Yeah.
So I feel like we're going to be all right tonight. So forewarning for everybody that the last episode you heard of HHR Unplugged was of 12-year-old Waylon Ingle team roping sensation.
Yeah.
That kid was a badass dude. What up, Kelly Harrison?
Hey.
Joe Hedgepeth, Barber Joe in the house. He was excited that you were going to be on here, Jonathan. So
Cool.
yeah, Barber Joe is Barber Joe goes to a lot of car shows. Well, mainly one big one, Rusttoberfest in Missouri.
Yeah.
And he sets up at this. It's a big, like a rockabilly weekend, dude. Like it's huge. And like he sets up and cuts hair at the show. It's pretty cool.
That's very cool.
Rad.
Yeah, Joe's a cool dude. And I'm happy to say that I'll be guest appearing on Joe's podcast on Sunday. A barber and a carpenter walk into a bar. I think that's the name of it. Joe.
Yeah. No, that's
Yeah.
exactly what it is.
Yeah, I always get it wrong. But anyway, without further ado, as we always say, this is going to be a very adult episode, probably, of the HHR Unplugged podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we're not going to be drinking out of the shot glass or nothing.
No.
But, we're going to have a good time.
Yeah, we are.
We're drinking water. So.
No.
Speak for yourself.
Okay.
And it's got water content.
Okay, dude, I can't lie to you. I was out of beer. I had a beer at Sweetwater, and I got here, and I was like, oh, damn, I don't got no beer.
No.
Yeah. Anyway, so you know what? I'm just gonna do it.
Just do it.
What up, bitches?
What up, motherfucker?
Nada. Welcome to HHR Unplugged, the podcast, episode 4.
Yeah.
And the Hometown High Rider podcast.
I don't have that many fingers.
Episode 163. And welcome. Thank you for taking time out of your insanely busy studio schedule this week. Jonathan Jeter from Jonathan Jeter and the Revelators, and drummer for the Reverend Horton Heat. What's up, man?
Hello. It's good to be here, man. Thank you for having me,
dude. And thank you to Ryan Klein for setting this up and getting you on here before Friday night.
Absolutely. Thanks, buddy.
This Friday night, Jonathan Jeter and the Revelators. Sorry, I saw something funny. We'll be playing with Michael Summers and 30 Miles East at Silver Saloon in Terrell, Texas.
Terrell, Texas.
Okay, I'm sorry. It's Terrell. Terrell, Texas.
Terrell.
Been a hot minute since I've been in Terrell, Texas.
The game it ain't changed.
I'm not gonna lie. I've driven through it, but I haven't been to the Silver Saloon in probably 15 years.
All right. Well, if it makes you feel any better, there's still a circle. There's still a Circle K and a McDonald's right next door.
That's all I needed.
Yeah, and you can still, but if you need a bottle of water at Circle K, you got to ask them because they got to go back in the cooler and get it because the door got busted one night after Silver Saloon night.
That's not surprising.
It happens. I'm like, why didn't y'all fix it? And they're like, because
it's gonna happen again.
Yeah, and exactly. again and again and again.
Yeah, I walked in there the other day when I went to have a meeting at Silver Saloon that I may or may not talk about tonight. I'm going to talk about it tonight.
I know you are.
Man, I keep losing my voice, Ryan. We should stop kissing. Ryan gave me mono to everybody.
I'm probably immune to it, so go ahead.
But anyway, I walked in there, I was like, ma'am, I'm sorry to bother you, but I need a bottle of water.
Yeah.
and it would appear that your cooler door is screwed shut. Miss, somebody forgot to unscrew the door when they got to work this morning.
You realize this isn't the beer and it's not Sunday, right?
And she's like, I got to go grab it for you. And she's like, which one do you want? I was like, Ozarka, I guess.
The water flavored one.
Yeah. What was really weird was like normally I'll go for like the cheap shit. I'll get like Dasani.
Yeah.
Deja Blue. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like cranberry nut crunch fucking ale.
Yeah, and she like threw me for a loop. I was like, Ozarka, I guess. Like, do y'all got Circle K flavor? And it's got like black. It's got like black dust on it.
You don't want to say that.
Like them little kids walking around barefoot in Circle K,
right?
And give them little Circle K feet, and a fried burrito,
and filling up their cup every once in a while. Take a drink.
Up. Let's see. Gasser Garage. Randy Jackson says Jonathan Jeter and the Revelators are awesome. Last time I seen him play was here in Joplin with Reverend Horton Heat last fall.
That was yep. That was a real interesting venue. It's a it's a house. It's like a house in a neighborhood in Joplin, Missouri. And so we've done it twice now. And we were cruising in, and I'm driving and I'm following the GPS, and I'm like, I don't know what to tell you guys. It says we're here. And Rev's like, there's no way we're here. We're at like at this house in the middle of a subdivision. I'm like, I don't know. I'll call the guy. And as I'm getting my phone out, this guy comes running out, and he's like, no, man, you're in the right spot. And so we get there and go inside, and this whole house is gutted, and the living room has a stage in there, seating for maybe 30 people. It was a really rad show. That place is really, really cool. It's called the Coda Concert House in Joplin, Missouri. And how I remember all these venues' names, I have no clue. But
it's pretty damn impressive because you guys travel a lot.
We're about 170 days out of the year on the road.
And is that with both bands or?
That's just Rev.
Nice.
Yeah. That's just my Rev schedule. Yeah.
That is crazy, dude. Well, I know that like I've seen you guys Lone Star Roundup down in Austin. Kind of like I think that was at Austin Speed Shop, if I remember right.
We did one there.
Used to be Jesse James's place.
Oh yeah.
That was a cool place, man. When it was him and Bob Mert, that shop was badass. Like that was just a cool ass place to be.
That gig was a little before my time with the band, but I do remember that. Like Jesse did come out to a couple of other gigs that we did.
Man, Jesse's cool, dude. Like every time you're at an event, man, he'll just come hang out with one of the dudes, you know? Like,
we've done Rot Rally a couple of times since I've been in the band, and he's been, I think he was either there at both of them or at least one of them.
Yes, Chance Lewis, there are cuss words here this time, buddy. This is not a 12-year-old tonight, buddy.
No.
I gotta look at the chat here.
And we have already established where the bar is due to our guest.
Yes.
What we're doing, Chance, is we're getting ready for Caleb Michael and the Arrested to be on.
Yeah.
Because that's just gonna be a cuss word. We're gonna call that episode the cuss word.
The cuss word.
Man, I gotta let's see. Bart Davis here asked, what year did Reverend Horton Heat start?
Oh damn, I didn't see that.
Yeah, that goes way back. Jim started that band in, I want to say, 86.
Damn.
So yeah.
I was 9.
Going for a long time. Yeah.
I was 9.
And the funny thing is he didn't really want it to be called Reverend Horton Heat. Like he had been playing in these other bands and a bunch of rockabilly bands, around Texas. He calls it the Great Rockabilly Scare of 1983. But he'd been playing with these other bands, just playing lead guitar and whatnot. And he had a gig in Dallas in Deep Ellum, which at the time was a place called Theater Gallery.
Yep.
And Russell Hobbs, that owned that, was the promoter of the show, and he had booked it as just Jim Heath, but the Dallas Observer had come out and they listed it as Reverend Horton Heat solo, and Jim was like, what the hell is this? Who is Reverend Horton Heat? And he was like, that's your name now. And he was like, well, I don't want that. And he was like, too late, we've already done the the advertisement. So
back then it was like, we've already printed the koozies, dude.
Yeah, exactly. And so that was it. He's been with the Reverend Horton Heat ever since.
Well, yeah. And dude, it honestly is a really badass rockabilly name.
Mm-hmm.
But what's crazy about it is Reverend Horton Heat is like, when you think rockabilly, that's typically the first band you think of.
Yes.
Honest to God, it's one of the first bands you think of.
Them are the Stray Cats.
Yeah, Stray Cats. Bart said, cool. I think it was 88, 89. I saw y'all in Denton a few times. That's badass. That is cool. And it doesn't date you at all, Bart.
No, Bart.
Bart's a cool dude, man. He's got a Corvette. It's named Snow White. Bart's cool as hell.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So I got to be completely honest, dude, because that's just what we do. Is the truth tree, right? Especially if we're going to put this on the OG show.
Oh yeah.
So listening to you guys, Ryan told me to listen. I listened the day he sent me the link to you guys, and then things have just, like we were talking earlier, things have been absolutely ridiculous the last couple of weeks. And so I busted everything back out again yesterday or day before yesterday, because I like to listen to stuff before we interview somebody,
Sure.
And, I'm not going to remember any of the song names or anything, but
me either.
other than Beer 30, but that's a Rev song. So
right.
And that's one of the greatest ever. However, what is it? Voodoo Woman, right?
Yep.
That song is badass.
Yep. That's an old school song, man. Like that record came out in, I want to say 2012. So, I mean, that one's got a few years on it now. And
Yep.
And when that record came out, I was doing more of a country rock thing than I am now. But that one got kind of lumped in with, I was really, really influenced by like the alt country bands that were coming out, like, Wilco and Uncle Tupelo and Lucero and all these bands, and Drive-By Truckers, just this whole Americana thing that was happening. And so it was, I'd been a punk rock guy my entire life. And then I found these story songs, and it just really kind of drew me in. And so I did that project, started it in, I think, 2010, 2011. And we gained a lot of traction very quickly with that little 5-song EP. And I sat in the top 100 on the Americana charts.
Hell yeah.
For about 7 months with that. And so every week I would look, and it was really bizarre, because I'd be like, okay, well, Ringo Starr's ahead of me this week, but Leonard Cohen's right behind me or something, and it's fucking completely blowing my mind. And it got pretty crazy, man. So that during that time, I was super fortunate to get to play with a lot of greats. Like Ray Wiley Hubbard really took me under his wing at that point, and I did a lot of really great shows with him.
Snake Farm.
It just sounds nasty.
Yeah.
He's a salt of the earth human being, man. That dude has been around, seen it all, done it all 3 or 4 times, and he's.
Whoa, crap! Sorry.
Just the one of the biggest rock stars I've ever met in my life, and that dude rules. But I kind of digress. But so that we gained all that traction around that time, and man, I had management, I had a booking agent, all those things, and I'd probably gone through 30 band members at that point to try and keep up with the schedule. They just couldn't hack it. They'd go by the wayside, and we'd just keep going. But I got back from a tour right before Christmas, and I think it was that year, maybe the next year. I'm not really sure. They all get kind of hazy, but I know I got back right before Christmas, and man, I was so jaded that I fired everybody. I fired the band, fired booking, fired management, everything, and didn't play music again for a couple of years at all.
Wow.
Okay.
I was just so jaded with
Just
the whole
done.
situation. Yeah.
Throw the papers in the air. Fuck this shit. I'm grabbing my stapler and I'm out.
Exactly, man. And that's what I was doing. A lot of construction stuff, and doing. Had the AC company that Ryan helped me out with, and all those things, and then I started to kind of trickle back into dipping a toe in the water, so to speak, of doing kind of behind the scenes stuff with other bands. Like I had some friends that worked for Pat Green, and so I would go out. They would kind of go in and do fill-in stuff, like mixing monitors for the Pat Green band, or from there that led to I don't know if y'all are familiar with the metal band Seven Dust. Like
Absolutely.
I got a call to fill in for a buddy, guitar teching for Clint Lowry and Vinny of Seven Dust, and so that turned into 18 months of being on the road with those guys, taking care of their guitars, and then that led into going to work for Reverend Horton Heat. I'd just gotten off tour with Seven Dust after that 18-month album cycle, and I had another tour lined up that I did not want to do at all. But I mean, we all do things for money that we don't want to do. $20 is $20, right?
Hell yeah.
And the shit we'll do for 40.
And so I had that.
Ryan can't talk.
I had that. So I had that coming up, and then I got a call from Rev's management, and they were like, "Hey, do you have any desire to go on the road with Reverend Horton Heat?" And I was like, "Well, fuck yeah! When are we leaving?" And I went and met Jim that following week, and I think we left the week after that. And so I spent 4 years on the road with those guys, taking care of Rev's guitars and taking care of all the band's gear, and started to tour manage during that time. And then over the course of COVID, the previous drummer, he didn't want to do a lot of the things that we had going on, because we were still doing these remember when they were doing like limited engagement things, and like
everything had to be intimate.
Yeah.
It had to be intimate, but intimate was 6 feet of distance between you.
Exactly. And so we had one in particular come up, and of course it was Sturgis. And so Rev calls me and he's like, "Hey, other drummer isn't going to be able to do this show, so you got to play drums on Saturday. This is on a Thursday."
Nice.
And I'm like, "Oh shit!" So we rehearsed Friday, flew up to Sturgis, did the gig on Saturday, and I haven't gotten fired yet. So
bonus.
So I'm still here, but I'm still the tour manager, and I still set up Jim's guitars every night. And
hell yeah. So what you need to do is with you being able to do that kind of on the fly kind of shit, you should, if you ever get tired of touring, you should just come be part of the podcast, because we do everything on the fly.
Oh yeah.
That's how I'm living my life, man.
Yeah. So I'm going to ask you a question. I promised that it would be not your typical list of questions, and I think this will be one that's not your typical question, but also it's a good question. So you're talking about being gone 170 days a year plus the Revelators, right?
Yep.
So I've spent a lot of my time traveling for various reasons. I had a we'll call it a medium length career. I don't know, 8 or 9 years. I was a surveyor, but I was doing 3D laser scanning, and I was the first person in Texas to do it, and like the third person in the United States to do it. So I traveled everywhere.
Yeah.
Like we went on this thing for shit, I don't know. We scanned every building owned by the GSA, by the government in the United States. It's 2,200 buildings.
Wow.
So we were gone for 10 days, home for 4, gone for 10, home for 4. Clayton, our 16-year-old, was born through that time, and I missed like the first 2.5 years of his life, but it was what it was, And then I started selling laser scanners, and I was gone 4 days a week, every week, flying somewhere or driving somewhere. So I'm used to it. Jimmy's never really had a job where he travels a lot, right?
There was one time I was a referee for a hot oil and cream wrestling show that we toured around the United States, but that was totally different.
I'm talking as a not fucked up young man. I'm talking as a grown man.
I'm just saying.
So, but how? Because we were talking earlier today on the phone. Both of us had just gotten to where we were going to go to lunch with our wives on Valentine's Day. Y'all have kids?
Not together. I'm on my second go around here.
Me too.
So,
Me too.
Yeah. I do have two kiddos with my previous wife, and they're older now. One's about to be 16 and one's 20 down at A&M, and so they're a little bit older, and so they've their whole life dad's been in a band, not necessarily gone all the time, but unfortunately the dirty part of it is to say that dad's been gone a lot.
Well, so here's my question, because it's just part of the business, man. Like there's no choice, right? So we have found ourselves, like, we've traveled a little bit to some car shows and things around the country, but it's always been for like a day or two or whatever, Well, yeah. We have found ourselves in this new world for the shows.
This predicament.
Literally in the last 21 days.
Yeah.
So for somebody like Jimmy, or for somebody that's just getting started, say a musician even, right? Like we're about to be traveling a lot. My wife can't wait. Because it's just, she's like, Jesus Christ, I miss when you were a salesman. And you were gone. But how do you and your wife do it, man? How do you guys make that work when you're gone all the time?
It's hard, man. It's hard, but I kind of compare like touring to kind of like an oil field job or something. You know what I mean? It's feast or famine. So like, you're working absorbing an amount of time, and then I'm like, hey, surprise, bitches, I'm here for a couple of months or whatever, and then then I gotta go again. One thing that is very nice about playing with I don't really, Reverend Horton is kind of a legacy act at this point. Jim and Jimbo are both mid-60s, so I mean they are going to want to cut it back. So I mean, I'm not too mad about slowing down that situation a little bit, but it's hard. There's going to be days when they get mad just because you're not there, and then we've got dogs too, and it's just a ton of shit for her to do when I'm not here, and I feel terrible about it. It's just kind of the nature of the beast, though. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And, one of the things that's really weird, and I'm just giving you some heads up on.
Yeah, no, I'm good.
So one of the things that's really weird is when you're gone for a long enough amount of time, because like, no offense, homie, but if we're not paying for it, I'm not sharing a room. Right.
Yeah. Right.
Like I want my own room, because one thing, like when we used to travel, we would share rooms because we were getting paid per diem.
Yeah.
And well, if you split a room in half, if you take a $79 Motel 6 room and you split that bitch in half, dude, you're coming home with some change.
Yeah.
Right? You're going to buy some toys. You know what I mean? Because like in Atlanta, dude, in 2010 or so, dude, it was like a $290 a day per diem back then. Because it was so expensive. Because it was so expensive to live in Atlanta.
Yeah.
Well, or if you went to California, it was like a $300 a day per diem. So if you could live for $45 or $50 a day counting your room, dude, you were bringing home some bank. But anyway, so we finally got to this, and I told finally when I got older, I was like, look, man, I'll lose the extra money. Like I'm getting my own room, because you're with that person 24 hours a fucking day then.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Like literally you're waiting, instead of waiting on your wife, who's your wife, instead of waiting on her to get out of the bathroom, you're waiting on this fucking dude to get out from taking a shit so you can go to the bathroom. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
like, you just, it sucked.
Mm-hmm.
But when you start, like, then we started getting our own rooms, and you kind of got used to it. You're out of town for so long, you get used to being by yourself.
Mm-hmm.
You get used to eating alone. You get used to, going downstairs to smoke a cigarette alone. You know what I mean? Or meeting up with the guys to go to dinner, or saying, "No, I'm ordering pizza." You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then when you get home, you walk in the door, and it's like you walked into Walmart on a Black Friday sale, and everybody's screaming and yelling, and everybody needs your attention. Everybody wants something, and it takes like 3 days to get, and it's not their fault.
No,
it takes you a couple of days to get reacclimated to being home,
Oh yeah.
So those times when we were gone for 10 and home for 4,
mm-hmm.
the last half a day was amazing with me and Brooke. the first 3.5 were terrible because I know I was being an asshole,
right?
But they were getting on my nerves.
Well, yeah,
it was my fault,
right?
But it's nobody's fault. It's like being in prison and then getting out of prison.
Yeah.
And, what do you mean I can do what I want? It's
right.
It's just so I don't know if it's just me that was that way. I don't know if it's like that for you.
Oh no, it's totally that way. I mean, like with the pandemic, the tour bus went away. We went back to a van after, just because everything got so expensive. But before that, traveling in buses, it would take me 3 or 4 days of being home to be able to fall asleep in a bed that wasn't moving. You know what I mean? Like you get really, really acclimated to that, and it's weird to balance like the circus life with like a home life, and now it's as I've gotten older, it's a very definitive break. Like, being out on the road used to be just this wild circus that was, and we were all just untamable,
right?
Savages, basically, road pirates. But, now it's very much like a bunch of adults out on the road, taking care of themselves out there, not, trying to get as much sleep as possible, trying to work out whenever we can, trying to, not drink too much, and trying to drink plenty of water. And, it's, I think that like for young bands, especially like once probably before they hit that 1,000,000-mile mark, it's like, this, being on the road is this like super glamorous thing. And like, then you get a little bit older and you're like, well, it's just a necessary evil to be able to do this for a living. You know what I mean?
Yep.
I love being out there. I really do. I love to travel. And, people ask me all the time, oh man, you must get to see all kinds of stuff. And I mean, the reality is that, I see a lot of bars. Sure.
But you don't see the area. You don't see the towns you go to.
No, I might make a lap around the block or something just to get away from everybody. Like, I mean, for a total example, I got back from Malaga, Spain last Monday.
Yeah, I know. That's crazy.
I was, I didn't really do anything while I was there. Like, I sat in a hotel room and like waited on showtime, basically.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like when I was traveling for work, like now it was different when I was selling because my job was to entertain. Right. So my job was to take customers wherever they wanted to go, as long as they were going to buy $100,000 piece of equipment at the end of the night,
Right.
So I got to have a really good time with that company. If I didn't spend $3,000 or $4,000 on a week trip, then they were wanting to know why I even went.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So we had a blast then. When I was traveling in the field, it was drive straight to the hotel. Typically you'd get there at night, go to bed, get up the next day, go to the job site, work all day, go to lunch, go back to the job site, go to the hotel, grab a quick dinner or order in, and then you were done. Jeremy Huff from Bear's Cafe. What's up, man? And so, yeah, you never saw the towns you went to. So like now as a person that is going to get to go do this in a different way, you're going to get to see a lot because we're going to drive most of the time. for a while.
Yeah.
We're not going to fly very often unless we're going to Georgia and Candy's paying for it.
Right.
Anyway, we're gonna be doing some stuff in Missouri.
Yeah.
I know for a fact I'm going in May. I don't know if you're going or not.
I'm gonna
relaxing in the park.
Yeah.
Because now talking to Jason, DJ Mays, it's his show.
Yeah.
But Hometown Hot Rodder is gonna have a little bit of a presence there as the OG, which is dope. So I'm excited for that. But
hence why I need to go.
Yeah, but you don't really get to see where you're going that often, So but now it's gonna be a little cooler now because it's not like we're going to be performing, so to say. We're not going to be doing an appearance every single day,
right?
That we're gone. We might do a couple and then come back, So it'll be a little bit easier, but it's still going to be rough.
Yeah.
Hey, so I shared a comment on the screen here, Jonathan. So C Mata there, that is that is Caleb Michael and the Arrested. So they want to know in-ear monitors, like them or hate them.
Love them, absolutely love them. That's in-ear monitors changed my life. As far as being a singer goes, I can hear my voice infinitely better. I don't project so much. Now I do use in-ears when I play with Jonathan Jeter and the Revelators. I do not use in-ears when I play with Reverend Horton Heat. I did for a little while, but I just kind of felt too disconnected from the band. I think that it works the best when the whole band is on them, and you can kind of control your own situation, which hit me up separately, and I'll be glad to get nerdy with you about that. But I think that for a singer, it makes all the difference in the world, man. That's going to save your voice night after night because you're not projecting because you can't hear yourself because this asshole's amp is too loud, or the drummer's hitting too hard, or whatever. So,
right.
And I'm both those people, so I can call.
Well, so
I can call it right now.
Yeah. So I wanted to ask you about that. So you drum with Rev, but for your band, your lead vocals and guitar, right?
Yep.
That's right. Yep. You're like the modern day Phil Collins.
Man, I love Phil Collins. I love Dave Grohl. And it came from necessity, man. It wasn't any situation where I was like, okay, well, I'm gonna, because it almost comes across as kind of pretentious when I'm like, oh yeah, I play all those instruments, but
no, it's not.
It came across. It was total necessity. I grew up in Greenville, Texas, and I got, let's see if I can remember the timeline correctly. I got a guitar for Christmas, and my birthday's in May. So I figured out between all my friends got guitars for Christmas that year. And I was like, okay, well, I want to play in a band, and we all got guitars, but nobody's a drummer. Somebody's going to have to do it. And so for my birthday in May, I got a drum set and started playing drums purely out of necessity.
It seems like almost every good drummer became a drummer out of necessity.
Yeah. If I wanted to play with other people, that's just kind of how it had to happen.
It's kind of like becoming a first baseman in baseball. Somebody's got to do it.
Yeah. Like it or not, somebody has to do it.
Yeah. So. Yeah. So you'll see there that that's Jimmy right here that did it. He just tagged Joe Morgan, Pam Morgan, and Morgan Amplification. So Jimmy's uncle created and owns Morgan Amplifiers.
Oh wow, cool.
Yeah.
So, rad.
I know I can't. Okay, we're on both shows, so I know I'm fixing to catch out. I can't wait to meet your uncle, MEET.
Yeah, you'll. He's a good dude.
Yeah, I can't. I want to meet him. I really would like to do an episode with him.
Yeah, definitely.
I think it'd be cool.
Heck yeah,
man. I did a tour with surf punk greats, Agent Orange, and they had a fill-in guitar player on that tour, and he had two different Morgan amps that he was playing on that tour, and I was like, oh my god, those sound great.
They do because it's handmade, it's old school tubes, it's not electronic stuff and all that. But the other thing too, a lot of people don't understand is that Joe, my uncle, who created Morgan Amplification, he also was the guitar player for Final Conflict between 80 and 85 punk rock band.
Cool.
So, yeah.
Wow, did not know that.
Yeah. That's cool, man. We're getting to do so much cool shit with the new show.
I agree.
I'm so happy. I got like the best of both of my hobby worlds.
Yeah, it's definitely something that we didn't foresee when we had a microphone taped to a puzzle box.
Right. That is really how we started.
Like for real.
On my dining room table, we both just yelled at the microphone, and it was a USB straight into the software. It was A+, baby.
Oh yeah.
So that so like here's what in my head. What are you guys doing in September?
Oh, fuck if I know, man. That's a long way away. I know that I do have a Reverend Horton Heat tour in September.
Damn it.
I'm not sure exactly where that goes as of yet.
Right on. Well,
I think it's an East Coast tour, but I could be totally wrong.
All right. Well, we're gonna look at your schedule Friday after sound check because we're gonna be there at 4 with y'all. So
yeah,
cool. We gotta get, or I guess I gotta get sound checked also, and I'll explain that here in a little bit. But we'll look at your schedule and if how cool would the Revelators be on the same lineup with Caleb Michael and the Arrested?
Oh yeah,
it would be perfect.
Oh yeah,
let's do it.
Like that would. So we've got a I'm gonna call it a fairly good sized car show.
Yeah,
it's gonna be a good one this year. We've got a car show that we do once a year in Greenville at Greenville Sports Park.
Okay,
kind of over there. So you haven't lived in Greenville for a while, so I don't know how long it's been, but off of Sale Street, and then whatever that little street is. Oh, it's Leon Hackney, like Sale Street and Leon Hackney, like where the old stereo shop used to be and all that. That road that goes by the mall, the old mall.
Oh yeah, over by the high school and stuff. Yeah,
yeah. It goes back behind the high school, but there's a big sports park there now. It's got a bunch of baseball fields, volleyball, basketball. But we have leased a huge portion of it for our show this year, and we're gonna have live music. Caleb Michael and the Arrested will be there.
Hell yeah!
And I'm still working on one or two more that fit in with their music and to work for a car show. And look, man. Whether it's, obviously it'd be the Revelators, but Revelators, Rev, all that is perfect for a car show. And with what Caleb and them bring to the table. Like that'd be a perfect show. So we're going to look at schedules on Friday. And then we're going to find out if I can afford it. But it would be rad.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's people coming from all over the country for that show. So it would be super cool.
Cool.
But C-Mod, I said Kenny G. Hell yeah, some saxophone mixed in with some rockabilly and shit.
Yeah. I think that was a clarinet, but cool. Kenny G, I don't think played a saxophone. He played a clarinet.
He blew on something.
Yeah, he blew on something with his hair.
Whatever.
So I have a question. Where are you originally from?
From Greenville, born and raised.
Okay, cool.
I grew up in Leonard, so
right down the road.
Greenville was our cruise. Hey, you know what we brought back, by the way? We're bringing back weekend cruise nights on Wesley Street.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. In fact, it's this Saturday, everybody. Don't forget, third Saturday of the month.
Oh, yeah.
This Saturday night, Wesley Street cruise night.
Nice.
That means it's going to fucking snow or rain or something.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Who knows? Who knows in Texas?
Yeah. Damn, my voice. That's awesome. Thanks, Ryan. I'm just kidding. It's just because I lost my voice a couple years ago.
Mm-hmm.
What else, dude? If you don't care, first we have to say this because if you say yes, then it's still apparently not good enough. But I've got my Pandora queued up, and you may not be able to hear it on the live, but they'll hear it on the episode, where it will live forever, right?
Cool.
Or until I quit paying, whichever. If you don't care, dude, I want to play a track.
Yeah, go for it.
So they can kind of know what to expect. This looks like it was released in 2023. I can't see you anymore, so I'm just guessing you can still see me.
Yep.
This is Hard for You.
Yep.
What is the album off of this? What's this one off of?
This is a single. We're releasing a series of singles throughout about the next upcoming year, and then once we get about 6 singles out, we're going to release a 12-inch. We're going to press it on vinyl and whatnot. So
that's something I want to ask you about, because we met Caleb Michael and Chance Lewis for the first time in person last weekend at a meet and greet at Bears Cafe. and we were talking about that very thing. So after we play this, I'm going to ask you about something about that.
Cool.
But if y'all don't mind, if you don't mind, if you're good with it, we're going to.
I'm great.
I'm not going to play the whole song. We'll just play a little bit of it.
Cool.
But this is Jonathan Jeter and the Revelators. Hard for You. You're probably going to hear it this Friday at Silver Saloon if you show up. That's why I'm not playing the whole song. So here we go. Man, he's got a good voice.
Rusty.
Look, I know y'all probably can't hear it on the live. I'm sorry. That's actually our trick for you to go listen. Put your headphones on. You got to hear this. You're going to have to go listen to the podcast to hear it, boys and girls, but I'm going to play it for another minute or so. Let's see here. Chance Lewis just said, just pull this dude up. Wow, hell of a voice and killer talent.
Oh, thank you.
All right. Well, I'm not going to bore the live feed with it too much longer because they can't hear it. So I'm sorry. I don't know why the equipment's being an asshole lately, but it is. So
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
Pause. What's so weird about that is, it's on the USB channel that you guys are listening to Jonathan on. So I don't understand, but whatever. It's probably. By the way, we don't own the rights to that song, and Facebook, you didn't hear it anyway, Mark. So eat a root. Sorry.
Maybe he turned it off. Yeah, he had to switch. He said, "No music for you,
man." They killed one of our live videos for playing a Barbie song one day, Jonathan.
Nah, lame.
Yeah, you should have hacked.
Well, if he wants to address that, I do own the rights to that music, and I'm good with playing that. So
we don't own the rights to that song, but Jonathan's our homie now. So
yeah,
Jonathan's part of the family now. So eat shit, Mark.
Yeah, so when I go live on Friday and all that, I'll just go, "Hey, just tell him," and he'll go on mic. You have to go, "Hey, I own the rights to this, so they can use it."
Yeah, cool. Let's do it.
Tell me that when I get ready to introduce them on Friday, them and Michael, that I won't go. I don't own the rights to this music, but
yeah, I do.
So I got to find out for sure. But Michael Summers is from somewhere Hunt County, I believe.
I'm not. I don't think that I've ever met Mark. I'm looking forward to it. My bass player, Brandon Callies, he still lives out in the area. He lives in Roy City, and so he kind of set this whole thing up.
That's
kind of how we're going to be there for this thing.
Yeah, I actually met Brandon last weekend at Sweetwater Grill.
Cool.
I know he does a lot of stuff with Truth, Tall Tales, and Whiskey podcast.
Yep.
And we hung out, and I met Corey and Josh, and then met Brandon, and he's a cool cat, man.
We go back 20 something years. We've been playing music together for a very, very long time. So
that dude's doing something right, because he doesn't look old enough to be doing that long.
Yeah,
man.
Yeah, we both were products of Greenville High School, and playing, growing up playing music there, and been best of friends for many, many, many years, and we got a lot more years to play music in us. So
absolutely, dude. That's so cool. And so this whole thing about singles, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I was talking to Caleb, and I was like, so when is an album going to drop? And he goes, dude, it's not where it's at anymore. And I was like, okay, explain that to me. And he said, and I want to get your opinion on this. He said, with streaming, with Pandora, Spotify, Apple, blah 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 blah, right? Dropping an album now is actually counterproductive, because you flood the market with yourself at that one time, and your songs don't get the plays that they get when you release them one at a time.
So in other words, you release one, and when people get bored of it, you release another. In theory,
basically.
Yeah, no, but I like that idea because you don't have 12 songs that are being judged.
See, and I absolutely hate that idea because I miss going to the record store and buying albums.
Well,
now I'm with you. I'm with you on that. I want to read the liner notes. I want to see the album art. Yeah. I want to read where they recorded it. I want to see who, all that, but the realization is that the average music consumer now doesn't have the attention span to do that anymore. And I hate to sound like a boomer or whatever, but with the development of TikTok and Instagram Reels and all these things, people are getting, they're getting their music from those are the outlets that they're getting their music from now. And so like the attention span of the average consumer is so short that that it's kind of developed into a whole paradigm shift, I think, in the industry where, labels, they want to see that you have a whole album's worth of material, yes, because they would rather put out a whole album. But as an independent musician, it just doesn't make sense to do that. When you start chalking up the financials of recording a whole record versus a single, you're like, okay, well, this makes way more sense to do.
I can see that, because what's the average production cost of a single? Like from beginning to end, what's the average production cost? Is it 10 grand?
Well,
is it?
I mean, it could be, it really all depends on, which route you go. I mean, I've been super lucky to be really dear friends with a bunch of recording engineers that have kind of taken me under their wing. And so, whenever I go record something, like I was just telling you, I've been in the studio for the last 2 days, but I've been engineering it myself in there in my buddy's studio. And so like, for me, my production cost is so much lower than what it is for a lot of people. But I mean, there's studios out there. I've got a great buddy that works at the Studio Modern Electric in Dallas, and I mean, they did, Joshua Ray Walker and the Texas Gentlemen, all these huge bands that are really making traction right now. But the average cost of being in there is like, that's just studio cost is like $1,000 a day. So I mean, it really adds up pretty quick. And that's just the cost of being in there. That's not paying your guys or mixing, mastering, artwork, promotion. I mean, there's just so much to the whole situation.
So,
but it's a matter of like trying to find, how to navigate it, like what's going to work. And like, there's so many online resources now where, before it was, well, you have to hire this radio promoter. Well, if you have any kind of like sauce with you about the music business, you can kind of dig in and be your own radio promoter, or you can write your own bio, or you used to have to pay somebody to do that. And so that's one thing that I've been really fortunate to do, is to have people around me that I've been able to kind of like learn from. And so now we're a very in-house situation. Brandon Callies does all our artwork and most of our photography. His wife does most of our photography, and we manage our own website. We do our own recording. And so that's how it's helped us keep, that's why we're still here, I guess, without, going, oh, well, I blew a bunch of money and I'm freaked out and I'm out now. You know what I mean?
So we do the same thing. Like, we know other podcasters that they pay people to edit, produce, engineer, put everything together, put it out there. And man, I'll be honest, we couldn't afford it when we started. So I taught myself, and it's probably wrong, but it gets out there. I mean,
then it's not wrong. You know what I mean? And that's kind of how I feel about music too, is, I've never been actually sat down and taught how to write a song, but, I taught myself how to do it, and it seems to work.
I mean, right now with the OG show, people in 46 countries are going, man, this sounds like shit, but these guys are funny.
But I mean, I think 46 countries is a real testament of what you're doing. You know what I mean?
Maybe so. Thank you. Maybe so.
And I love the idea of, a grassroots following, man. That's something about that. Like, teaching yourself how to do something and making it happen is it's super rewarding to me. You know what I mean? So, and I for real though, I mean, I think if people in 46 countries are listening to your podcast, I think that's definitely a testament that, you know, that you're a go-getter, and that's pretty badass to me.
Thank you, brother. I appreciate that, man. For real. Thank
Absolutely.
you so much. Leslie, hello. We're not ignoring you. It's just hard to keep up with all these comments. Chance said, Caleb Michael and the Arrested, $28.50 per single, including mastered off site. And then he said, plus artwork, plus a radio promoter if needed, is what it's costing them. So $3,000. You know, I don't know what it pays once you get up, like once you are actually somebody, and people actually download your shit.
Right.
We get a lot of downloads. It just doesn't pay yet. But I don't know how long it takes to recoup that $3,000. You know what I mean? But that makes sense then to let that single ride out until you see the curve start to dip a little, because you make as much as you can off of that single and then use that money to make the next two later. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like you skip that next one and you know, because you've already that one should already be out. So
in today's market of, you know, recorded music, I don't know that you're ever going to recoup any kind of money from you know, any streaming and whatnot, but I think that, you know, that streaming will get your live guarantee up, you know, and that's the whole gist of the touring paradigm now is like, you know, there's not really so much mailbox money coming at you anymore, like, you know, like it was before streaming took off, you know, before Napster and all that stuff, you know. So it's really about just getting on the road, man, and playing shows, and you know, that's the unfortunate situation. I mean, maybe some people can figure out how to monetize recorded music, but I mean, a lot of the guys that I know haven't been able to figure that out in this climate.
Yeah, Chance just said the same thing. He said money is in touring and merch, hopefully.
Absolutely. Yeah. And I mean, that's it. And, you know, it's, you got to figure out how to, at that point, you know, it's like, how do you not necessarily cut corners, but like cost effectively do it? Because you want to give the best show that you possibly can, but not cut those corners. But, you know, at the same time, like, how can you do this cost effectively and, you know, fit into a budget? And it's just, it's a whole different Wild West out here now than it was even, you know, 15 years ago when I was running around the country doing this.
Well, man, I can tell you this, if you want to talk about being budget friendly, if this show and me are the ones that are promoting and announcing you guys and stuff on Friday, yeah, that's like eating ramen.
Little
we're gonna be stoked to be there.
At least I get to be inside the building when I watch this time,
right?
With no hat. We'll get to that later.
Yeah.
Not today, but
no,
later.
Yeah.
So let's say this Friday night, because there are people on here that will be there because we have been sharing the crap out of this for you guys and for Michael. How many songs can we expect out of your set?
You know what? To be honest with you, I don't really know. I don't really know how long that we're going to be playing, but I can tell you that out of our show, we're not real into talking. You know, for a lot of people that have never, you know, most people have never seen us before, so they don't really give a shit like where my head was at when I wrote this song. So I would rather the song speak for me rather than me speak for me, if that makes sense. And so we try to cram as many songs into the time that we have as possible. That's just kind of how we do it. I mean, if we play for, you know, 45 minutes, we're gonna cram 12, 13 songs in there.
Holy crap.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
That's badass. Okay. Got to ask this because look, you guys are playing at a bar that's inherently a country bar, right? So I got to ask this just because, and I don't mean country ones, but what's one of the biggest things that artists do at country bars? They play covers.
Yeah.
Are you guys going to play any, you're going to play any covers?
We're gonna play one, and it's not gonna be a country one.
I figured
Nice.
that. No. I figured that. I figured y'all
Yeah.
play like Red Wine or something.
We got we've got a Bruce Springsteen cover coming.
Yes.
Hell yeah.
That's about it, man. We're not real into doing cover tunes, so we've got kind of a deep Springsteen cut that we made our own, and that's gonna be the one.
I like it. I like it.
Oh yeah.
Dude. So even if it's a song that I've never heard, I would so much rather, and I know that I'm 100% in the minority of this statement.
Okay.
I would much rather go watch a band and hear their originals, even if I don't know the music.
Yeah. No,
Like-
I agree.
Like there seems to be this this thing where, well, if I don't play Amarillo by morning, nobody would dance.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right? Bullshit. If the music hits you the right way, you'll dance, whether whether you know what they're saying or not. But I'm just by looking at you and talking to you, I'm going to assume you're a Gen Xer like we are.
yep.
Okay, so for us, like it was all about the bass, and we didn't give a shit what they were talking about when we were driving around, right?
Exactly.
Like if it was knocking windows down, we didn't care. We didn't care what they were saying. they could have been hating every single one of us and our ancestors, and we didn't give a shit.
Oh yeah.
If it hit hard, we were cool with it,
Damn right.
and that's why our dads and grandpas hated us.
Turn that bass off.
Yeah, turn that shit off.
My dad used to always say every morning I'd start listening to something real low, and my speakers were up against his wall, and I'd hear boom, 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 turn the bass off, and I'd had to hit my bass button.
Your bass boost.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Had to unbass boost it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Chance wants to know. Okay, Chance, but if he gives you a price on this, you got to come Friday night. Chance wants to know how much to do "Endless Love" cover.
Oh man.
There's a number. There is a number. I promise there's a number.
I don't know. I don't know what that number would be.
I told you this was an unconventional. That'd be funny as hell.
Right.
We've got a pretty odd couple of days coming at us tomorrow.
Trees, man.
Well, at Three Links, right across the street
Okay.
from Trees.
Okay.
We're playing with this German surf rock band, the Messer Chops, and then some dear friends of ours, Isaiah Evans and the Boss Tweeds. Isaiah plays in a band called the 40 Acre Mule. It's straight ahead, like rock and roll, very like Little Richard kind of thing. Check those guys out if you're not hip to that. They're really badass.
Okay.
Pretty stoked about that one.
Okay, the hometown hot rodder version of me has to bring up the irony of called 40 Acre Mule, and you brought up Little Richard. That's kind of funny.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yep. So that's gonna be that's gonna be a ripping show, and then Friday night, super excited about that one, and then I go straight into 2 nights with Reverend Horton Heat. So
Where at? God dang it.
Saturday down in Tomball, Texas, and then Sunday at the Moody Theater in Austin for the Ameripolitan Awards. It's Dale Watson's thing.
Oh, that'd be awesome, dude.
Yeah, it's going to be pretty cool. I think like Junior Brown will be there for that. Super Suckers. I mean, it's going to be a pretty.
yeah.
Have you ever
pretty
seen Junior
interesting.
Brown live?
No.
Man, he's awesome.
I hope Junior Brown lives to be 125 so that everybody can have a chance to see him live.
Yeah, I
Yep.
haven't been to very many concerts in my life.
Junior Brown is killer live.
He's amazing.
Yeah, it is one of the coolest live shows that I've ever been to. I've gone to some weird shows that you wouldn't expect.
Yeah, he rips, man. I any chance I can see Junior, I really enjoy it.
I bet he's pretty fun. I bet he's pretty fun to hang out in the green room with too.
He's a pretty dry character, but he's
Yeah.
just been doing it for so long. You know, him and his wife Tanya are very sweetheart people. And you know, and I just mentioned Dale Watson. I love him and his wife
Same.
Celine to death, man. They're amazing people. So yeah, it's gonna be fun.
What about so inside Reverend Horton Heat? You're pretty much the baby of the band, aren't you?
I bring the average age of the band way down. Yeah.
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 The real reason that Jonathan plays drums for Reverend Horton Heat is because he's the only one that can keep that kind of physical activity going that long.
Well, I mean, I have a hard time keeping up with those guys, man. To be perfectly honest with you, Rev is still standing on the bass night after night and just crushing. He gives it 110 every night, and so does Jimbo. It's to play with those guys at such an intense rate of speed because they're like punk rock songs. We're like going for it every night. They're super fast. The average song is probably 180 BPM. They're all fast, and we're doing it for 90 straight minutes every night, 6 nights a week when we're on the road. So.
God Almighty,
damn.
Yeah, those guys are machines.
So what's funny is like we've recorded, I think our record's 3 episodes in one day.
Yeah.
And man, I'm telling you, by the time we get done with it, I can barely talk.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then when I do
that takes a lot.
Shut up, Jimmy. And then when I do a 12-hour car show,
yeah,
and I'm moving around and I'm trying to interact with people and do things, it's tough.
It is.
And then when we had the racetrack, dude, I would climb the walls and yell at people.
Oh yeah.
Yell at the racers, tell them that the car show was next week. These people came to watch drag racing. Like, so, and I was just constantly talking and yelling and,
oh yeah.
And man, you come home and you don't have a voice anymore.
No.
And it's just crazy how that,
I'm just still looking at the 180 beats a minute of him flailing his freaking arms for 93 minutes.
So I'm gonna do one more. Well, I gotta ask this before I put it on the internet later. Since you're in the band, can I have permission to play some Rev real quick?
Yeah, absolutely. Play some Rev. Yeah.
Okay, cool. So one of my absolute favorite Rev songs is Beer 30.
Yes.
I don't know what it is about Beer 30, but it's one of my favorite songs. It could be the party get naked part. I don't know, but it's one of my favorite songs. Do y'all still play that like now?
I have played that song one time in the last almost 4 years. To be honest with you.
So give us one that you play, because I wanna find one that I want to play one that they can hear you.
Well, there's a new record out of covers. It's called Roots of the Rev Volume 1. There's a song by a Dallas guy, Gene Summers, who was a 50s rockabilly dude. The name of the song is School of Rock and Roll that we do. I play drums on that song.
Okay.
That's my only recorded cut with those guys so far.
School of... Let's see. I'm digging for it right now, man. Sorry. School of Rock. Hopefully it's on Pandora.
I'm sure.
Rock and roll. You know how many songs there are there? Let's see. Reverend. There you go. Got it. I just had to drill a little further down. Dude, that's a cool album cover too.
Yeah, it's very cool.
Yeah, it is.
The artist that did that when you listen to the record, the way, and Rev recorded this himself, like engineered it, and it's except for 5 songs that we did with actually at Dale Watson's studio in Memphis, but for the bulk of it, Rev did himself. And it's very authentic sounding. It's very 50s rock and roll.
Well, I'm gonna play a little touch of it if
cool.
that's okay. If that's okay. And then I don't want to keep you a whole lot longer, man. You're at home, so give us 1 second here. Let's see if we can make it happen.
School of rock and roll session. Oh, yeah, Lord. Well, the school of rock and roll is where the music blows.
That is so fast.
The school of rock and roll is where I long to go. The teacher, she don't use a piece of chalk. Man, life don't pretend to make no more. At this year's school, all you learn to do is rock. Yeah, they rock on the blackboard, rock on the desk. Rock and roll work is what they love the best. In school of rock and roll session all year long. Well, the school of rock and roll is where I long to go. Rock and roll.
It's working.
Yeah.
How's that freaking possible? So it was working that time. Awesome. Well, good. I'm glad it was working then. So I'll be damned.
Yeah.
That's wild, dude. Killer song.
Yes.
Cool. Man.
So how do Rev and Jimbo feel about you having the Revelators on top of everything that y'all are doing?
They love it. They get excited about it. They come to my shows.
Cool.
Yeah, there's no animosity about that at all. I mean, I know where my meals come from. You know what I mean? So,
Absolutely.
you know what I mean? So, they think it's cool. They understand. I mean, you know, we're all three of us are artists, you know, and we have to scratch that itch to get stuff out. I mean, Jim does solo shows too. Jimbo had a side project for a little while. I mean, it's just, you know, we've all got a bunch of irons in the fire. Rev's got, he's got a record label that he's putting records out on. That Roots of the Rev album is out on Fun Guy Records, and then he's got some other ones. There's this great guy out of Oklahoma, Jimmy Dale Richardson, that he's been putting his records out. He's got a little bit of a catalog going now of, you know, pretty authentic rockabilly stuff. So it's pretty cool.
Good for him, dude. So,
Yeah.
So you'll see a comment down there from Bradley Wayne Jackson. Says, now we're talking, makes me want to slick my hair back and go race some tri-5s.
Do it.
So I'm going to tell you, there are a few of our followers, listeners, fans, whatever the hell you want to call them. We still have a hard time calling them fans because they've been with us since the beginning. So they're more like brothers and sisters. And there's a few of them that are damn good ride or die. They'll follow you forever after tonight.
Cool.
I'm telling you right now, Brad Jackson's damn sure going to follow you if he's not already. If he hasn't already clicked the button while we're talking, he's going to. Same with Joe Hedgepeth. These guys are they're gonna follow you guys, and don't ever say anything that might end up embarrassing, because if you do, Brad Jackson's gonna make a meme of you.
Oh yeah.
So there might be something of a cartoon looking thing of somebody like their arms about to fly off doing 180 beats per minute, and you know it'll be courtesy of Brad Jackson. So he said, I think I do follow him. So
Nice.
Yeah. Brad's going to be down here in September. He lives in Kentucky. Shit. He's going to be down here in September for Dragon Destroy Showdown. So
Very cool.
all right, man. Well, I don't want to keep you a whole lot longer. This is about half as long as one of our normal episodes. But I don't want to keep you much longer because, man, you're home, and your wife's probably sitting there going, man, will this dude just stop?
Right.
But I do want to make sure that, like, is there anything else you want to tell anybody about before I go into a little bit of a thing I want to talk about? But if there's anything you want to make sure that people know about, dude.
Man, you know, it's just I would love for anybody to follow Jonathan Jeter and the Revelators on social media. We're out there on everything: Facebook, Instagram, all that stuff. All that would be greatly appreciated. The Bandcamp page, you can get there from the Instagram page and the Facebook page. It's got new merch stuff up on there, song downloads. That's about it, man.
Well, I'm going to say that I know we talked about both bands, but I think that's because I wanted people to know, you know, how much range you've got. You know what I mean? It definitely, I hope it wasn't, you know, one-sided. I hope we're here this week to support the Revelators. But I wanted everybody to know we'll call it a pedigree, I guess. That dude, this guy's been doing this a long time, and y'all need to make sure that you come support his band. Like, you being the front man is going to be really cool now that I know the whole story.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, that's badass. And I wanted to make sure they knew the whole story so that they knew how cool it would be for you being the front guy for your own band. That's badass.
Thank you.
And you really are taking two different styles and making your own style, you know, your own lane. And that, dude, that's hard to do, especially when you're still with the other band.
Oh yeah.
Like, you've got two different switches you got to flip, kind of like we do right now with two shows. Like, there's got to be two versions of us, you know. Hometown Hot Rodder, they're characters that we've created, and Unplugged is the real us. So, you know, it's tough, you know. I know it's tough for us. It's hard to figure out which ones we're supposed to be what day.
It's hard for me to figure it out.
Like if I show up in Dickies and Dunks, they're going to kick me out of Silver Saloon on Friday.
Yeah.
But you know, it's just, so it's damn impressive from people that are trying to do a similar thing, but in a different lane of entertainment. I promise you got our respect.
Oh, thank you very much, man.
And you're going to see me act like a jackass Friday night, but just to try to get everybody pumped up for y'all, you know what I mean?
Oh yeah. Yeah. I appreciate that.
Now, if you've got just a few minutes, I'll make this quick. I just have something that I feel like I need to announce. Like I said, the official announcement is coming Friday, but a lot of these people won't be at Silver Saloon Friday. Like I said, we're not going to get anybody jumping and going to the airport and coming to watch. I mean, they're just not coming from Africa. You know what I mean? So,
yep.
So here's what I would like to announce for Jimmy and I, for HHR Unplugged, the new show. I spent 2.5 hours yesterday with Alex and Marco from Silver Saloon. We had a 2.5 hour meeting. And according to Barber Joe Hedgepeth, that's a long ass meeting with a bar owner. He said usually they're a 10-minute deal and you're out the door. But this was a 2.5 hour meeting where we talked about a lot of things. We are going to be doing a lot of promoting for Silver Saloon. And I did some videos to tease the other day.
Oh, yeah.
We're going to be doing a lot of promoting. None of y'all's business what the agreement was that we worked out. So don't ask because it's none of your business. If I'm not sleeping next to you or recording with you, it's none of your business. But shut up, Jimmy. But one thing that's come out of this, I was walking into the bar, and it's always, Joe and I were talking about this. It's always weird when you walk into a bar and it's empty. Like when you walk into an empty bar, it's like a completely different place that you've never been in your life. Right? Like it just looks different. So I'm always, every time I go in there, I'm always looking around because there's something new that I never noticed before. And I've been in that bar 100 times in the past. Well, I was looking and I was like, I didn't say a word. We went to the office. We had our meeting and all that. At the end of the meeting where we agreed on the thing that I was there to talk about, right? We sealed that deal up. I'm a handshake cat. We shook hands. I'm good. Somebody in my life is not going to like me doing handshake deals anymore, but whatever. Then I was like, all right, well, I had one more idea, and that idea came to life and they were fired up about it. So like you were talking about how things have changed with streaming and whatnot, and things are just kind of going in a modern direction with music, right? Mm-hmm. They recognize the value of podcasting to promote their venue and the artists that are coming to their venue. They've recognized that there's probably not a need, but it is probably valuable to have, correct? Sure. And I mean, because like I just said, I mean, they can download Jonathan Jeter and the Revelators in, you know, they won't understand the shit, but they can download it. So you can get people's music all over the world now. So when I was talking about not liking that, how that's happened, I actually love it.
Well, yeah,
because if you can't afford a world tour where your music can, and you can go to the post office and ship a t-shirt if somebody buys one in Sweden, right? So, so that in that aspect, the internet has made music wonderful because now you can share it with the whole world. Well, with this new show, we want to share this show with the whole world.
Yeah.
We want to share Jonathan Jeter and the Revelators with the whole world.
Everybody.
Don Lewis out of Waylon Ingle, a 12-year-old rodeo. Anybody we interview on this show, we want to share them with the whole world. That's why we're here.
Yeah.
The thing is, we're going to start recording HHR Unplugged once a week. Well, we're going to do it twice a week, once a week here in, home base. But we're going to start recording once a week, probably on Tuesdays when the bar is empty, from Silver Saloon. Oh, so cool. It's going to be, let's say it's Jonathan Jeter live from Silver Saloon presented by HHR Unplugged, right? Well, we're going to do that. And then as soon as that proves its worth, there's going to be another 2.5 hour meeting. And we are going to, hopefully it'll be us. I'm pretty sure it'll be us. We are going to create another podcast because we need another one, right? We're going to create another podcast called the Silver Saloon podcast presented by HHR Unplugged. So, sometimes people like idiots, man.
Well, that's awesome. I wish you the absolute best of luck, man. That's pretty badass to
I appreciate
get out there
that.
and be kicking ass.
I appreciate it, man. It's like I said, 24 days ago, we'll say 3 days before the first episode came out, we had never even entertained the thought of being in this lane.
No.
So
no,
we've been working hard for the last 20 days, buddy. I promise.
Hell yeah.
So that everybody knows, if you're wondering, well, yeah, how long is that going to last? How are you going to have time to do that with your job and blah, 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 blah. Well, I, as of yesterday, have officially made myself an employee of something that I can drop and fly to wherever I need to go on a 10-minute notice if I have to. So that's how.
Sweet.
No longer tied down by schedules.
Nope.
But also not tied down by a big paycheck. So we got to hurry up and get this shit going. But the real cool part for me, because I love music, it's just something that we never really talked about on the OG. Right? Corey Bullman, what's up, big dog? CTB Media, go check him out. And we got some big news coming with him as well. So go check out Corey Bullman. Great AV guy, Jonathan, if you need one. So
cool.
Hook you up, if Brandon needs help. And they know each other. But anyway,
Excellent.
The cool thing to me is that, dude, we're gonna get to be like up close and personal with music all the time.
Yeah.
And like, we're not like fangirls, so we're not gonna bother you guys. Like, you know what I mean? Like, hey, buddy, you signed this for my niece. Like, that's not us.
No.
Man.
No.
And at the same time, you're like, you don't want to be disrespectful and not ask for it. Like, it's not because I don't want it. It's because I don't want to bother you for it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, but we know how to handle ourselves away, with people, and we've got friends in other industries that, they've got fangirls.
Yeah.
We just want to hang out with y'all and introduce the guy. And it's so doing the show from Silver Saloon is going to absolutely separate the way interviews are done.
Yes.
Because, hey, let's say we've got an up and comer, right? And let's say Alex and Marco hear them play when they bring their acoustic and they play for us.
Yeah.
And next thing you know, man, they're booking events.
Yeah.
Yep.
So there could be some cool shit out of this, dude. And I'm excited.
That's rad.
Like coming up pretty soon, it won't be at Silver Saloon. This will be at an undisclosed location, but our very first full band, full instrument interview will be with Caleb Michael and the Arrested.
Hell yeah.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah, I'm excited about that. I hope we don't screw it up. But but man, excuse me, god dang it. This has got to go away by Friday. Shut up. But
it's becoming your new MO.
No shit. Listen, Brad said, did I mention I wish I lived closer to Texas?
he was wanting to know if you're willing to sleep next to him.
Well, hell yeah.
And that's what Brooke said.
And you know what? He plays guitar, so he could put me to sleep.
Damn.
There you go.
But man, I'm excited. I'm excited for Friday because Terrell, Texas is going to see something that they aren't used to seeing. And
it's going to be interesting to put a rock and roll band in Silver Saloon. So we'll see how that goes over. It could be like a turd in church. I don't know, but it'll be fun. We'll have fun with it one way or the other.
I'm making a shirt. You just made a t-shirt for me. Turd in church. That's what HHR Unplugged is.
I'm just going to go out here on a limb and go between sets. They're playing Tootsie Roll. So, I mean, we're good.
Well, first they're going to play Brian.
Well, yeah.
Then they're going to play Tootsie Rolls. So that's just bad to worse.
Yeah.
But line dancing to rockabilly could be kind of cool to watch.
Yeah.
Oh, look, I told you. Look at that last comment.
I can't.
I'm going to let Jonathan look. Don't read it.
There we go. Bring it on.
turd and church being coming. I love it. And yeah, you got to sign the turd though. It's got to say Jonathan Jeter on it.
Will do.
But
and then you can sign it again on the wall.
Well, man, I don't. Oh no, we're recording tomorrow. Tomorrow night, guys. Taylor Hughes from Nashville, Tennessee.
All right,
go follow her on Taylor Hughes Music. She'll be on here. I was about to say we might come to Deep Ellum, but we do have an episode.
We'll see you on Friday.
Damn right, dude. And if you guys look, man, if you ever need anything, you got my number. Text me, whatever you want to do. Cool. We're gonna let you bounce and go spend time with the wife on Valentine's Day. Right and we're gonna do a little housekeeping, guys, and then we'll jump off as well. So, Jonathan, dude, for real, thank you. We appreciate you being here. And
thanks, guys.
Ryan, if you're still watching and the NyQuil hadn't kicked in yet, man, thanks for hooking us up, dude. I really appreciate it.
He's probably laying on the table.
By the way, go to apexbootco.com, shop for your boots, enter the keyword hometown in the coupon code, and get $50 off your pair of boots. And the waffle's still going, and you some bitches need to buy some tickets. So
There's Ryan.
there's Ryan.
All right, my dudes. I will see y'all on Friday.
All right, man.
Jonathan, thank you, bro.
All right.
Wait.
Thanks, y'all.
All
Bye.
right, man. Yep.
Hell yeah.
That was badass.
Dude.
Ryan, thank you. By the way, Ryan, you were right. Jonathan's a cool motherfucker.
Yeah. Yeah. Finally, you're right.
And yes,
I'm kidding.
and yes, guys, we cussed on this episode. Well worth it. It's a rock band.
Dude, I slimmed down my fucks.
So did I.
I actually don't think I said it
I slimmed mine
until
down.
just now.
I slimmed mine down a lot from dating to now. Yep, I'm in trouble. Happy Valentine's Day.
Damn.
Happy Valentine's Day, babe.
Happy Valentine's Day.
Look, man, that was rad.
Yeah.
That was cool.
Yeah. That's, dude. Wow.
I can't wait. And I hope everybody's excited about the Silver Saloon podcast thing. The official announcement comes Friday, but like I said, there's a lot of you guys that will see it Friday.
Yeah.
But there's more of y'all that won't. So I felt it needed to come out today.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And Marco and Alex, I hope y'all aren't mad that I did that. Let's see here. Waylon has an official count on fucks. Yep, 2.
Yeah.
2.
Yeah.
Chance just called you out.
Yeah, I know.
Chance, call me tomorrow. We need to talk.
Yes.
I don't know if I got anything else.
No, I don't have anything.
I don't either. Hey, everybody local to this part of town, that would be east of Dallas. Head over to Sweetwater Grill, man. Zach Romo's up there till 11 or 12 o'clock doing open mic night tonight.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, I'm gonna go up there and see him.
Okay.
But yeah, so come see me at Sweetwater.
Hell yeah.
Oh, it's Valentine's. I might ought to stay home.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll see. She's probably already asleep.
Yeah.
God dang it. Dude, it's been a lot today.
Matlock.
Yeah, no shit. I don't understand, man. Let's see here. Ba-ba-ba-da. So since we're gonna release this to HH or the OG,
Yeah.
we gotta handle it. You still can't do your normal thing.
No, I'm not.
That's too dirty.
I know.
You could be like Valentine's loving.
Yeah.
Make sure you give your loved one a pearl necklace for Valentine's Day. How's that?
I mean,
As always, be sure to like, follow, and share the Ryland Strong Network. Go to RylandStrongNetwork.org. Check out our events coming up and dates for the 3rd annual Ryland Strong Car and Bike Show, October 5th at the Red Barrel Bar and Grill in Dublin, Texas.
Dublin.
Lots of cool things, lots of cool music. Cannot talk about the headliner yet because I don't know if it's official,
Right.
but it's dope. And Caleb, Michael, and the Arrested will be there as well.
Hell yeah.
So I'm really excited about all that jazz. Special thanks to Inky Blinders Tattoo, Bad Idea Customs, Cheater Slick Culture, JCA Photography, Pops Classic Car Photo Resource, Richard Big Dig Johnson of High Rod Haven, Rev Limited Off-Road, thank you, Ryan Christenberry, Shift and Shutter Photography, Texas Phoenix Boutique, Wicked Clover Tattoo in Dublin, Texas, Cats Automotive, HPP Racing, Bears Cafe, Hashtag Mini Movement, Twisted Wrench, Tammy's Twisted Tumblers, Specialty Automotive, Apex Boot Company, BMF Custom, Streetcar Chronicles, and Silver Saloon Dance Hall in
Terrell, Texas.
Anyway,
Wow.
thought I'd roll through that real quick.
Dude.
Was that pretty good?
I've never seen so much in your mouth recently.
Just when I throw those out there, thank you so much to all of our advertiser sponsors.
Thank you.
Once again, make sure you're following Bears Cafe in Sanger, Texas.
Yes.
Second Saturday of every month, meet and greet, MEAT, because they sell meat
Yes.
with yours truly, the Hometown Hot Rodders, and HHR Unplugged.
Hell yeah.
Listen, come see us Friday. Please come see us Friday. Silver Saloon, Terrell, Texas is where it's at. Jonathan Jeter and the Revelators, as well as Michael Summers and 30 Miles East. Damn it, dude.
You know, no one would notice it if you didn't go, damn it, right afterwards.
I can't help it, man. By the way, Michael was going to come on. Some things came up. He can't make it.
Hey.
It's all good.
Yeah.
We'll get his ass Friday at Soundcheck.
Hell yeah.
Come out and hang out. Watch us. By the way, guys, if you ever went to that truck stop with the racetrack in the middle of it, they're giving me a wireless mic.
Yeah.
I'll be like the rap backup guy when Jeter's like fucking jamming.
Yeah.
And I'll be like, yeah, word.
The little John.
Yeah. Okay. Tell me I won't. I won't.
No.
I won't because they won't let me come back.
Yeah, I know.
All right, man. Well, y'all stay tuned. Stay tuned for more announcements because there's a lot of them.
Yeah, get ready.
Our trip to Georgia just got a lot longer.
Hell yeah.
So we'll talk about that later because we can't yet. Other than that, well, since this is the hometown hot rodder, also, don't rape each other.
Or do.
Okay, whatever. Bye-bye.
Later. Hi, guys. I mean, you could just, hello, my baby. Hello, my honey. Hello.